Probably 50-50. But who knows? Maybe one of these days someone at Fox News will,
Well, okay, Bill O'Reilly. She also did an interview with Bill O'Reilly. Some say this was a softball interview, and some say it wasn't. And I'm going to play a clip for you. This is one where they're completely submerged in this idea of, is Sarah Palin qualified or not? Who is she more experienced than? Some reaction to this clip I'm about to play for you on the internet suggested that Bill O'Reilly was asking her a tough question. And others say, no, he was just setting it up for her to say, I'm more qualified than Obama and Biden. I have more experience than Obama and Biden. Yet she can't seem to tell us why she would actually do the job better. Let's take a listen.
One more question about President Obama. A lot of people are very nervous about him now. He's not having a good time in the White House now. You pointed out his lack of experience. You don't have that much experience. You walked away from the governorship after, 2 years, 2.5 years?
Going into my lame duck session, my fourth legislative session, that deciding I wasn't going to run again and not wanting to put Alaskans through a lame duck session that was
okay, but is it fair for you to criticize Obama's lack of experience when somebody could make the same criticism about you on the national stage?
If you're talking about executive experience, I would put my experience up against his any day of the week. I had been elected to local office since 1992 and was a city manager, strong mayor form of government, was the chief executive of the state, was an oil and gas regulator. There was some good experience there that could have been put to use in a vice presidential ticket. We have to remember, too, that I wasn't running for president.
No, but that's the key question. Because John McCain is up there in years, you had to be qualified to take that office over.
Right, but I'm saying I was running for vice president, just like Joe Biden in running for vice president. I've never once heard you or anybody else question Joe Biden and his experience.
He's got a lot of experience. Let me be very bold and fresh again. Do you believe that you are smart enough, incisive enough, intellectual enough to handle the most powerful job in the world?
I believe that I am, because I have common sense, and I believe, the values that are reflective of so many other American values. And I believe that what Americans are seeking is not the elitism,
Okay, Sarah Palin has common sense. That's what she's telling us, Lewis. She has common sense.
Well, we're the only Arctic state, of course, Alaska, so we feel the impacts more than any other state up there with the changes in the climate, and certainly it is apparent. We have erosion issues and we have melting sea ice, of course.
She has common sense. She has more executive experience than Obama and Biden. She doesn't understand why people weren't questioning Joe Biden's experience. Well, because he has a ton of experience, as Bill O'Reilly very rightly said.
I'm very surprised that Bill O'Reilly would be asking her questions like this.
Bear in mind, this was a long interview, and Bill O'Reilly is an expert at having these parts in there so that he can point to them if he's criticized of not asking tough questions, when the larger context of the interview may well be, let's tee up some easy softballs for you.
I mean, of course, these are questions that she's going to have an answer for,
But the thing is, you would expect by now, she's going to get asked the same questions, that her answer would be a little more coherent, would it not?
Well, she's not the greatest speaker.
That's for sure.
But
she may be worse than Bush, though. George W. Bush, he was a horrible speaker. He would be able to learn the talking points. He would learn the talking points, and at least he would say them. I mean, I don't want to say George Bush is the example
George Bush
of good grammar.
Learn the talking points, and he would use phrases and special words and, repeat them over and over and over again.
And eventually he repeated them grammatically correct. I don't hear Sarah Palin even being able to do that.
Well,
it's odd. It's very odd. Tucker Carlson also saying Palin is more experienced than Obama and smarter than Al Gore. This is from C-SPAN's Washington Journal, and, I'll just play it for you. It's odd. It's weird. Tucker seems to believe that Sarah Palin is smarter than Al Gore, bringing that up unprovoked, and more experienced than Barack Obama.
This comment from what you said earlier, Tucker Carlson, viewer James saying Sarah Palin is as qualified as Barack Obama, which is hardly qualified.
Well, she's more experienced. I think she's as smart as Al Gore. The idea that she's like the dumbest person who ever drew breath, or that she, came from a tent or something onto the national stage. I have higher standards for, I guess, the office. I would like to see someone with a lot of experience become president. Barack Obama obviously didn't have enough experience. You're seeing the effects of it right now. I guess I'm not arguing on behalf of Sarah Palin. I'm merely saying, she's not such an outrageous figure, this crazed extremist, that the response that she's getting is warranted. I think it's weird, actually.
Most populists are...
Okay. It's what is going on? On what planet does Sarah Palin's experience compare to Barack Obama's? I just don't get it, Lewis. I don't get what's going on. I just don't understand it. Sarah Palin. I mean, you know what? I know somebody who owns they're really nice. They own a flower shop downtown in our city. I think they might make a good president. And I would make the case that if I agreed with one or two positions that they have, maybe they'd make a good president. I mean, who would buy that? Let's just pick a random person here. Let's pick someone who quit.
The person who owns that flower shop would probably make a better president than Sarah Palin.
It's possible. It's possible. I don't know the politics of that person, but it's just very, very bizarre. Who is coming out of the woodwork and saying that the current president is less experienced than Sarah Palin. I mean, we're talking about a person who is having trouble putting together just a list of a couple of countries that are maybe in Africa, or just a couple of Supreme Court cases that she finds controversial or interesting, or a newspaper or two that she reads. I mean, she can't even list these things. And somehow we're saying that she may be a better candidate to run the country than Barack Obama or Joe Biden. It's bewildering to me. It doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Is the experience thing invalid now that Barack Obama has presidential experience?
Well, I think the argument is still at the time of the election. I don't know.